What if I told you that hidden within the celestial hierarchy lies a group of beings so magnificent, so awe-inspiring, that their very existence is cloaked in divine mystery? These are the Seraphim, guardians of God's eternal glory, beings of flame and light who dwell closer to the divine throne than any other creation. They are not merely angels. They are the embodiment of worship, the enforcers of cosmic order, and the keepers of secrets too overwhelming for human comprehension. The Seraphim are described in sacred texts as six-winged beings, their forms aflame with unquenchable fire, their voices echoing with cries of, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of His glory." Isaiah 6:3. But who are these celestial creatures, and why do they stand at the pinnacle of the heavenly hierarchy? What truths do they guard, and what can they reveal about the nature of God, the cosmos, and humanity's place within it? These exalted beings are often seen as abstract symbols of God's glory, but what if they are more than that? What if their fire, their wings, and their unyielding devotion carry a deeper meaning, a warning and a message for us all? The Seraphim are not just passive worshippers. They are protectors, defenders of God's holiness, and enforcers of divine justice. They were present in the celestial war that cast Lucifer from heaven, wielding the purifying flames that consume corruption and preserve the sanctity of the divine throne. But their story doesn't end with their celestial duties. From their role in Isaiah's vision to their connection to the cosmic struggle between good and evil, the Seraphim's influence extends beyond the heavens and into the earthly realm. They are messengers of divine will, touching human lives in moments of revelation, purification, and judgment. Their fire has the power to cleanse sin, but it also has the power to consume, to destroy anything that dares to defy the divine order. As we delve deeper into their mystery, we will explore ancient texts, biblical accounts, and apocryphal writings that illuminate their role in the grand design of creation. We'll uncover the secrets they guard and the lessons they offer, not just about the heavens, but about our own lives. Could their eternal cry of "Holy" be more than worship? Could it be a call for humanity to realign with the divine purpose? A reminder that we, too, are part of a greater cosmic story. Prepare yourself for a journey into the heart of the divine throne room, where flames burn brighter than the sun, and voices sing with a power that shakes the foundations of the cosmos. The Seraphim are more than symbols. They are mysteries waiting to be unveiled, and their story is one that might just transform the way you see the divine, the universe, and yourself. Are you ready to uncover the truth about the guardians of divine glory? Let's begin. As we step into the celestial realm, the Seraphim stand at the very pinnacle of the divine hierarchy. Their presence is more than symbolic. It is a testament to the majesty of God and the unfathomable depths of His glory. These beings are described vividly in the Bible, particularly in Isaiah 6:2-3, where the prophet recounts his vision of the throne room of God. Above him were seraphim, each with 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying. And they were calling to one another, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of His glory." The 6 wings of the Seraphim are not just ornamental. They represent the totality of their role and purpose. 2 wings cover their faces, signifying humility in the presence of God's infinite majesty. Even as beings created to dwell in the radiance of His throne, they cannot fully gaze upon His glory. 2 wings cover their feet, symbolizing their reverence and modesty as they serve in the holiest of realms. The final two wings enable them to fly, showcasing their readiness to fulfill God's will without hesitation. Their constant cry of "Holy, holy, holy" is more than a chant. It is an eternal declaration of God's unparalleled purity and perfection. The repetition of holy 3 times emphasizes the triune nature of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It also reflects the depth of their worship, a never-ending recognition of the Creator's transcendence. But their worship is not passive. The Seraphim are more than singers of praise. They are protectors of God's throne. In ancient Jewish and Christian traditions, the Seraphim are believed to act as guardians of divine glory, ensuring that no impurity or rebellion can approach the sacred presence of God. They are the enforcers of God's holiness, standing as fiery sentinels against any force that threatens to disrupt the cosmic balance. One of the defining characteristics of the Seraphim is their association with fire. The word seraphim itself comes from the Hebrew root seraph, which means to burn. This celestial fire is not a destructive force in the earthly sense, but a purifying flame that refines and cleanses. In Isaiah's vision, one of the seraphim takes a burning coal from the altar and touches it to the prophet's lips, saying, "See, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away, and your sin atoned for." This moment reveals a profound truth about the Seraphim. Their fire represents both mercy and judgment. It is a force that eradicates sin and impurity, allowing those who come into contact with it to stand in the presence of God. Yet, for those who rebel against divine authority, this fire becomes a consuming judgment. In this way, the Seraphim embody the duality of God's nature, His love and His justice. Their flames also symbolize transformation. Just as Isaiah was cleansed and commissioned through the fire of the Seraphim, humanity itself is called to undergo a similar purification. This divine fire is not meant to destroy, but to refine, burning away the dross of sin and leaving behind a vessel fit for God's purpose. In this sense, the Seraphim's fire is a reminder of the sanctification process that believers undergo, a call to align with God's holiness. The Seraphim's role as protectors of divine glory places them at the forefront of the cosmic struggle between good and evil. When Lucifer, the light-bearer, rebelled against God and sought to elevate himself above the divine throne, the Seraphim were among the first to stand against him. Their flames became a weapon of righteousness, a divine fire that purged the heavens of rebellion and cast the fallen angels into the abyss. This celestial war, though described only briefly in Scripture, is a pivotal moment in the spiritual narrative. The rebellion of Lucifer and his followers was not just an act of pride, it was an assault on the holiness of God. The Seraphim, as guardians of that holiness, were uniquely equipped to counter this threat. Their fire, which symbolizes God's purity, was the ultimate defense against the corruption introduced by the rebellious angels. Some traditions suggest that the Seraphim's fire was instrumental in creating the abyss, the prison where the fallen angels were cast. This connection highlights their role not only as defenders but also as agents of judgment. The Seraphim's actions in the celestial war remind us of the gravity of rebellion against God and the lengths to which He goes to protect the sanctity of His creation. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Seraphim is the possibility that they hold secrets about the divine that are hidden even from other angels. Positioned closest to the throne of God, the Seraphim have a unique perspective on His glory and His plans for creation. Their unceasing worship and their proximity to the divine presence suggest a level of understanding that surpasses human comprehension. In apocryphal and mystical traditions, The Seraphim are often depicted as bearers of divine knowledge. It is said that they are entrusted with the mysteries of the universe, including the nature of time, the order of the cosmos, and the ultimate destiny of humanity. This knowledge is not shared lightly. It is guarded with the same intensity as the holiness of God's throne. Some scholars and theologians have speculated that the Seraphim's knowledge includes insights into the spiritual battle between good and evil. Their role in the celestial war and their proximity to God suggest that they are deeply involved in the unfolding of His plan for redemption. Could it be that their eternal cry of "Holy" is more than worship? That it is a declaration of God's ultimate victory over sin and death? Although the Seraphim exist in the heavenly realm, their impact on humanity is profound. In Isaiah's vision, the Seraphim's fire transforms the prophet, preparing him for his divine mission. This interaction suggests that the Seraphim serve as intermediaries between God and humanity, bridging the gap between the divine and the mortal. But their influence goes beyond individual encounters. The Seraphim's presence in the throne room symbolizes the holiness to which humanity is called. Their fire, which purifies and refines, is a reminder that we are meant to reflect God's glory in our own lives. The Seraphim's eternal worship serves as an example of the devotion and humility that believers are called to embody. Their role as protectors of divine order also has implications for the spiritual battles we face. Just as the Seraphim stand against the forces of darkness in the heavenly realms, we are called to stand firm in our faith, resisting the temptations and deceptions that threaten to lead us astray. The Seraphim's unwavering loyalty to God is a model for our own spiritual journey, a reminder that holiness is not just a state of being, but a constant pursuit. The Seraphim's association with fire and light is central to their identity. Fire, in this context, is not just a physical element, but a spiritual force, a manifestation of God's presence and power. It represents both the glory of God and the process of transformation that all creation must undergo to align with His will. Light, too, plays a significant role in understanding the Seraphim. As beings of flame, they reflect the radiance of God's glory, illuminating the path for others to follow. This light is both a guide and a warning, a beacon for those who seek righteousness and a reminder of the consequences of straying from God's path. Through their fire and light, the Seraphim reveal the duality of God's nature, His mercy and His justice, His love and His holiness. They remind us that to stand in the presence of God is both a privilege and a responsibility, one that requires us to be transformed by His glory. The Seraphim, shrouded in flame and mystery, stand as eternal guardians of God's divine glory, their role unparalleled in the celestial hierarchy. From their six-winged forms to their fiery essence, they represent the profound duality of divine mercy and judgment, reminding us that the path to God is one of both reverence and transformation. Their unceasing cry of "Holy, holy, holy" is not only an act of worship, but a powerful declaration of God's unmatched purity, a reminder of the cosmic order they protect with unwavering loyalty. The journey through the mystery of the Seraphim illuminates the essence of divine holiness and humanity's place in the greater cosmic narrative. As protectors of God's throne, their presence serves as a warning against the consequences of rebellion, exemplified by their role in casting Lucifer and his followers from heaven. The celestial war underscores the Seraphim's importance as defenders of light, their fire consuming all corruption and restoring balance to the universe. But the Seraphim are more than distant celestial beings. Their interactions with humanity, such as Isaiah's transformative vision, reveal their role as intermediaries between the divine and the mortal. The burning coal, pressed to Isaiah's lips, symbolizes the purifying fire that allows mortals to approach God's presence. This moment is not merely historical. It is a reflection of the process each of us must undergo, allowing the divine fire to cleanse us of impurities and align us with God's purpose. It is an invitation to live a life of humility, devotion, and holiness. The Seraphim also challenge us to consider the mysteries they guard. Positioned closest to God's throne, they are privy to divine secrets hidden from both humanity and other celestial beings. Their proximity to God gives them insight into the nature of time, the structure of the cosmos, and the ultimate plan for creation. While we may never fully comprehend the depths of their knowledge, their presence invites us to seek the light of understanding and to trust in God's sovereignty over all things. Their association with fire and light carries a powerful message for us today. The fire of the Seraphim is both a gift and a warning, a force that refines and transforms, but also consumes all that stands in opposition to divine order. It is a reminder that holiness is not static, but a constant journey, one that requires us to confront our flaws and embrace the purifying flames of God's presence. Their light, meanwhile, illuminates the path forward, guiding us toward righteousness and serving as a beacon of hope, even in the darkest times. In many ways, the Seraphim serve as a mirror for humanity's spiritual journey. Their constant devotion and unwavering obedience to God challenge us to live with purpose and humility. Their fiery essence reminds us that transformation is necessary to draw closer to the divine, and their eternal cry of "Holy" calls us to recognize the sanctity of God's glory in all aspects of life. As we conclude this exploration into the mystery of the Seraphim, one question lingers. What can we, as mortal beings, learn from their example? Their story is not just about the heavens, but about our own lives, our choices, and our relationship with the divine. The Seraphim teach us that true holiness requires humility, reverence, and a willingness to be transformed by God's fire. They remind us that the cosmic battle between good and evil is not merely a celestial narrative. It is a struggle that plays out in our hearts and in the choices we make every day. In their eternal cry, their consuming fire, and their steadfast presence before God's throne, the Seraphim invite us to step into a life of deeper faith and devotion. They call us to reflect the glory of the Creator in our actions, to seek purification and transformation, and to walk boldly in the light of divine truth. Though their mystery may never be fully unveiled, their example stands as a timeless reminder of what it means to live in awe of God's glory. So, as you ponder the mystery of the Seraphim, consider this. Their flames burn not only in the throne room of heaven, but also in the hearts of those who seek the divine. Their cry of "Holy" echoes across eternity, calling all of creation to align with God's eternal plan. Will you answer their call? Will you allow their fire to refine you and their light to guide your path? The choice, as always, is yours.